Hello, once more YouTube, I'm Darkest101, and welcome to another installment of Darkest101 Reviews. Well guys, I was sitting around today wondering what to review next. I mean, what can I move on from after Hellsing? You know, vampires, and monsters, and bats. Bats! Batman! Unless, of course, you've been living under a rock for the past 100 or so years, you all know of Batman. The Caped Crusader, the Dark Knight, all the various names of one of DC Comics' most iconic characters. However, what makes Batman so successful in my personal opinion isn't the origin story of our hero, but that is quite interesting to say the least. No, it's the villains that makes Batman so intriguing. Batman has one of the largest rogues galleries I have ever seen. So while it would be pointless to review one of the newest Batman cartoons and almost age-old comics, I figured today's review would be more or less a countdown of my favourite 5 Batman villains. So, what are we waiting for? This is my top 5 from Batman's rogues gallery. Ra's al Ghul. If I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, please tell me. Okay, if I'm brutally honest, I really hadn't heard of Ra's al Ghul before I saw him in Batman Begins. But to be fair, Liam Neeson brought that character to frickin' life. In the comics, and in most incarnations of said comics, Ra's al Ghul is the leader of a worldwide terrorist organisation that believes modern technology is killing the world, and that there is only one way to deal with criminals: kill them. What makes Ra's so interesting, however, is the way he works more or less towards the same goals as Batman. So they should be allies, right? Wrong. Ra's crosses Batman's sacred line of no killing time and time again, meaning they can never be allies. But it's just so tempting for Batman, because if he does join Ra's, then he gets everything he ever wanted in life. It's the ultimate temptation story. It was also nice to see Ra's make a video game appearance in Arkham City, even if his voice was a bit nasally for my particular tastes. They still managed to nail the sort of personality Ra's would have in real life. Ra's al Ghul, even if he's not portrayed by Liam Neeson, he's still frickin' awesome. Harley Quinn, and not for the reasons you think. Now that we've got the obvious out of the way, the reason I put Harley on this list is because, well, she's fucking insane. I know it's kind of the case with most Batman's villains, but Harley's a ticking time bomb of utter insanity set on a hair trigger of death. When Harley Quinzel became the newest recruit to Arkham Asylum, she sought to do what others could not: understand the mind of the Joker. So she got to work analysing him. However, the Joker merely manipulated her, and thus she fell madly in love with him, to the point where her own mind snapped, and she became the supervillain just to be with him. She has no sense of morality, no sense of mercy, and quite frankly, the only thing keeping her in check is her psychotic boyfriend. Going back to Arkham City, and more specifically the DLC, Harley Quinn's Revenge, I think they brought what Harley would be like without the Joker to life with eerie accuracy. Also, quite frankly, I'm scared to death of Harley. She has that broken mentality of childlike innocence, but if you look in her eyes, you would see the desire to rip your heart out through your nose just to make herself laugh. Harley Quinn, if you see her coming your way, live your life. My god, this guy's one sick son of a bitch. And quite frankly, when you think about him in detail, it's kind of scary the way he was created. And he's easily one of the most heartbreaking villains Batman must face, in my opinion. Thomas Elliot hated his father as he beat him time and time again after getting drunk. He also despised his mother, who, when he came to her for comfort, taught him about Aristotle, patience, and military strategy instead. The only friend he had was Bruce Wayne, our dear Dark Knight. So, what did Tommy do? He cut the brake lines to his father's car and waited for him to crash. However, thanks to the medical skills of Thomas Wayne, Tommy's mother survived, leaving Tommy to look after his mother for years to come. Tommy resented the Waynes for allowing his mother to live, and later on began to resent Bruce, who had lost both his parents and inherited their fortune. Tommy later killed his mother when she wrote him out of her will, and went on to med school. Elliot later offered a large sum of money to the Riddler to kill Bruce. When they realised they had a common enemy, Elliot created the identity of Hush. I know a few Batman villains have abusive parents, but this one is the only one I know of that has a personal connection to Bruce. This man is really, really sadistic. If you haven't read any comics about Hush, I won't give away anything he does to Batman, but all I will say is this. You ever see this man, you run. You run and run fast. You hear me right? Run! Bane and Red Hood. I couldn't decide whether I should leave either of these two off the list, so I gave them joint second. Start off with Bane, shall we? I'm going to be honest here. I didn't care about this villain until The Dark Knight Rises. But believe you me, Tom Hardy's performance in this role was beyond godlike. Now, if I was judging by the Dark Knight trilogy alone, then Harley Quinn wouldn't even be on here. But yet, when you think about it, Bane is just a fucking badass. Born in prison to serve the sentence of his dead father, Bane's only friend in the world was a teddy. However, when he grew up, he was chosen for the mysterious Venom Project. His iron-forged will helped him survive where others had died, and as such he became a superhuman in terms of strength. Once he escaped, he decided the best way to make a name for himself was to beat Batman. And he did just that. He snuck into the Batcave itself and broke Batman's spine. He is perhaps the only villain who has gotten the closest to killing the Batman by way of spinal devastation. Plus, he's not only the most dangerous physical threat in the Batman universe, but he's also a tactical genius. A side that was played down in Joel Schumacher's Batman and Robin, but I digress. On to Red Hood. And when I say Red Hood, I mean Jason Todd Red Hood. Jason Todd, for those of you who didn't know, became the second Robin after Dick Grayson moved on to become Nightwing. Todd, however, was, well, beaten to death by the Joker and left to die in an explosion. However, Todd was brought back to become the villain, the Red Hood. I'm going mostly with my limited knowledge of the animated movie Underneath the Red Hood for this part, but from what I can gather, Ra's al Ghul has a hand in bringing Jason back to life, and also his conversion to his new ways of crime fighting, doing what Ra's would and Batman won't, killing criminals. The Red Hood is a very interesting villain in my opinion, and very, very fucked up. Bane and Red Hood. If I was to play as either villain, I would gladly say yes. The Joker. Yeah, you all know this one was coming. But then again, how can this guy not be at the top? I mean, first of all, if you're talking about the Mark Hamill Joker, or Jokers, the guy is voiced by Luke Skywalker. Argument invalid. Second, still with Mark Hamill, the dude is just hilarious and so energetic and just throws everything he has into the role, giving us one of the most likeable supervillains ever. We know next to nothing about his past, other than the fact that as a direct result we have this sadistic fucker. Hilarious and goofy, but at the mentality of Harley Quinn, a pinch of Bane's intellect, and the Scarecrow's ability to make you piss your pants. The Joker is Batman's ultimate enemy. Always has been, always will be. There's no reasoning with this man, and there's no way to tell what he's planning. And if you think you're safe just because he likes to laugh, have you seen it when he snaps? Good God, in Return of the Joker, he was bloody terrifying in the finale. I thought for a second he was actually going to snap Terry McGinnis' neck. The Joker. Laugh it up here or 6 feet under, it really doesn't matter to him. And those are my top 5 personal favourite Batman villains. If you have a suggestion for my next review, please drop it in the comments section below. And as always, I've been Darkest101, and you have been watching Darkest101 Reviews. Thanks for watching. Good night, YouTube.